Has this ever happened to you? One day life seems to be going great and everything seems to be progressing well. But the next day you wake up with no motivation whatsoever and you suddenly feel stuck. Just going through your daily routine is a struggle and it feels like a chore. And to make matters worse, you beat yourself up for not being as productive as you'd like to be. What happened is you've entered a mental rut. It's basically a state of mind where you feel stuck, purposeless, and you're unable to motivate yourself. And doing anything that day can be difficult. Days like these will come unexpectedly, seemingly out of nowhere, and can last for days or even weeks. However, if you've been having these symptoms for months or even years now, then you're probably not just in a rut, but you might be experiencing a form of depression. The tips in this video will help you with that. However, if the symptoms persist, you might want to talk to your doctor. Now, there could be plenty of reasons for a rut, but often it happens to the most ambitious people. Because they have set high expectations for themselves, they tend to work too hard for too long. If you're someone who has recently been crushing it and you found yourself in a rut, then this might be your body's way of telling you that you need to take a break. Taking a day off might seem like a waste of time and you might feel like you don't deserve it. But in reality, relaxing a little will allow you to sustain your productivity for much longer. If all you do is work and you don't let yourself take a break, then you're on your way to burnout. So allow yourself to take it easy once in a while. But most importantly, don't beat yourself up when you do. Often someone who is taking it easy is torturing himself mentally for not meeting his own expectations. And like a negative loop, this drains his motivation even more because he's taking a break but he thinks he should be working. Just like a lot of other people, I'm guilty of this myself. I tend to get thoughts like, oh, I should be working right now, I could be doing this or that, etc. However, we need to understand that we're only human and we have a limit. We're not machines that can keep on going day and night. One thing that has helped me personally to stop torturing myself is giving my mind a logical reason for a break. Whenever I get those thoughts telling me I should be working, even when I really shouldn't, I simply tell myself, resting will allow me to be more productive in the future. For that reason, taking a break is the productive thing to do. I basically give my mind a valid reason to relax, and often I'm able to return the next day with recharged batteries and a lot more motivation. Another possible reason for a rut is not taking care of your physical health. In today's society, a lot of people are stuck sitting at their desks, which often results into being inactive all day. The remedy for this is exercise, of course, or any form of physical activity. Most people, when they hear the word exercise, first think of losing weight, but exercise actually has another effect. It makes our brain function at its best. It's already well known that exercise increases levels of serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine. All are important neurotransmitters that affect thoughts and emotions. Because of that, exercise has a profound impact on mental health, and even doctors prescribe exercise as a treatment for depression. So if you haven't started an exercise regime yet, I highly suggest you do, as it can prevent any future depressive states. But if you're in a rut as we speak, then you probably don't feel like exercising at all. If that's the case, you could apply the 2-minute rule to it. Tell yourself you're going to go for a short 2-minute walk outside. When those 2 minutes are up, you can go back inside and be done with it. The point is to get yourself up and moving. Usually when the 2 minutes are up, you'll be able to continue for longer. But even if you don't continue, 2 minutes of movement are better than nothing. Of course, we mustn't forget about sleep and diet, as they are also a part of our physical health. There's a reason why the gut has been called the second brain. 90% of serotonin is made in the gut. And if you don't know, serotonin is considered a mood stabilizer as it has a huge impact on our emotions. If you keep eating junk food, the gut's microbiota will become unbalanced and your serotonin production will get messed up. So it's wise to stay away from foods that are obviously suboptimal, like fried fast food, candy bars, white bread, ice cream. Anything with added sugar basically. Instead, I suggest you try to create a balanced diet that consists of plenty of vegetables, proteins, and healthy fats. But let's not forget about drinks. Alcohol, energy drinks, and sodas are also harming your gut. Besides tons of added sugar, they tend to have artificial dyes and other harmful ingredients. Plus, they have zero nutritional value and are full of empty calories. So replace those suboptimal choices with plain water or tea. And make sure to hydrate regularly throughout the day, as being dehydrated often leads to mental fatigue. Sleep also plays an extremely important factor in our mental health. If you've been recently sleeping less than the recommended 7 to 9 hours per night, this could be another reason for a rut. Getting insufficient sleep has been linked to many mental problems such as anxiety, depression, and ADHD. Often fixing your sleep will fix your mental state. I have made plenty of videos about sleep and how to improve it, that's why I won't be talking about it here. There's a link to sleep videos down in the description. As I mentioned before, you should go outside for a walk, however not just to get physical movement, but to get a change of scenery. Going outside is something that can cause a massive shift in your mental state, especially if you surround yourself with nature. Humans are animals. I know this sounds weird, but we need to move around in the landscape to feel good. If you've ever seen an animal in the zoo, you know they don't look too happy. In fact, they look bored and sluggish. Why would humans be any different? If you're usually stuck in your house or cubicle all day, you need to get outside every once in a while. You can't just expect to be happy if you're stuck in a box all day. You need sunshine, fresh air, and nature. Specifically, regularly spending time in nature has been associated with decreased depression, lowered stress, and increased mental well-being. But even if you live in a big city, just changing your location and your scenery can help a lot. For example, whenever I feel stuck, I go for a walk around the block. This small environmental shift already helps me feel better. Another thing that might be causing a rut is having the same routine for far too long. If every single day is the same, it's hard to be excited or motivated. You don't really have anything to look forward to because you already know what to expect. If that's the case, then it might be time to spice up your routine. It doesn't have to be a drastic change. You can try something as simple as taking a different route to work, ordering something new at a restaurant, or switching up your exercise routine. Just do something differently. You could even try picking up a new hobby, something you've always wanted to do but never really got around to it. This will give you something to look forward to in your day. For example, going to a martial arts class, maybe learning how to code your own software, or learning to play an instrument. Just don't pick a trumpet or your neighbors will dislike you. Yeah, I'm talking to you, neighbor. But if you really want to have a solid reason to get out of your bed in the morning, then you need to set new goals. If you don't have any goals, you don't have any direction and you're basically purposeless. That's why I suggest you take out a piece of paper and write down some of your goals. And make sure to make a plan on how you'll achieve them. For example, I didn't start running seriously until I made it my goal to run a marathon. I always had this idea in the back of my mind that I should go for a run whenever I could. But that rarely happened because I didn't have a reason to do so. However, once I made finishing a marathon my goal, my running had a purpose. I had a reason to tie my shoes and go for multiple runs per week. Before, there really was no real reason for me to run, it was merely wishful thinking. So set some daily, monthly, or even yearly goals. This will give you motivation and fuel to get up in the morning as you'll have something to aim for. Now, when you're returning back to your work, studying, or whatever you usually do, it's important to start small so that you don't get overwhelmed. Imagine you're a weightlifter who just came back to the gym and is recovering from an injury. You don't want to load up 300 pounds on your bench press. Just because you could lift that weight before the injury, it doesn't mean you can lift it now. You need to start small and build up again. If you try lifting the same weight, you'll just injure yourself more. It's the same with productivity. When you're recovering from a rut, you don't want to suddenly jump to 10-hour workdays. Instead, start slow and just like an injured weightlifter, build your productivity up. Do 15 minutes, then 30 minutes, just to get a feel for how long you're currently able to work on your desired activity. If you have complete resistance towards your work, you can use the 2-minute rule to gain some of your momentum back. At the end of the day, you are not alone. Everyone goes through a difficult time sooner or later. Even if you feel stuck right now, and even if you feel like this is how your mood will be from now on, it won't last forever. Mental ruts are temporary, and this too shall pass. Our moods are in constant ebb and flow. It's unrealistic to feel amazing all the time. Just like Bob Ross would say, you gotta have a little sadness once in a while so you know when the good times come. You're just waiting for the good times right now. Thanks for watching.